Hello, 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 Facebook family. How are you? I know that music sounds a little mysterious, but this is what we're going to be talking about tonight about dreams and deja vu. Okay? So, I want to give out a disclaimer before I start. I want to give a disclaimer out before I start, okay? Um, season and beyond, enjoying life to the brim. Welcome, 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 guys. Thank you so much for coming out to this talk tonight. This platform discusses any and all information that may be known to the public, but our opinions and truths of the host and guest. Resources are unconventional and conventional. Season and beyond is in no way to be offensive to any persons, groups, or organizations. The conversations are to enlighten your spirits and give new views to life and future in a practical way, expressing thoughts that move towards a holistic approach, heart, mind, body, and soul. The information is alleged, but truth to some viewers. Viewers, okay? All righty. Let's get started here. Hi, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome again to Season and Beyond, enjoying life to the brim. I know that this topic can be a little unusual for some people, but guys, I'm telling you, when I normally don't remember my dreams, like I said last week, but it seemed like for some reason now I am beginning to remember these dreams. And I just wanted to know if they had any significance to them, right? If they real or what. You know, dreams were used in the Bible. So I'm gonna bring this to like what I feel, and then bring something out of the Bible, which should be right. And in the Bible, dreams were used to reveal God's plans and future to individuals and to a nation, right? But sometimes they may be something for plans for the future. And it could be, just you had some bad food and you just dream a crazy dream, that night, or, was at an event and, whatever the event was caused you to dream that night about what happened, during the event. And I have had that to happen, also. But in my opinion, this is my opinion, like I said on the disclaimer, I believe in dreams and deja vu, right? But sometimes it is hard to, distinguish, is it a truth, like with the dreams, deja vu, yes, because deja vu is like you're sitting and you're thinking about it, and then down the road, sometimes it actually happens, right? But in dreams, you just try to distinguish, is this real or is this something that I ate and I'm just having a bad dream from it. It wasn't good for me and I'm just having, an after effect, from it, in a dream, right? Now in the Bible, we think about like with Pilate's wife, right? How when Jesus was getting ready to be crucified, and how she had a dream, and she was telling her husband, where she sent, to her husband and told him, to not to bother this man, to leave him alone because of the dream that she had, was real disturbing, disturbing for her that night. So she's thinking, this man is, in other words, I'm just adding on, that she felt that this man is innocent. You getting ready to assassinate, crucify an innocent man, right? Then you think about Daniel's interpretation of Nebuchadnezzar's uh, a dream about him. He's going to go insane, for 7 years, and then this thing actually happened, with him. And then you think about, Jacob, dreaming about the ladder, climbing the ladder, Jacob's ladder. When we sang a song like that, every round gets higher and higher. We are climbing Jacob's ladder. Every round gets higher and higher, and that was going towards, the birth of Christ, right? And so on and so on. And then you think about Joseph, Joseph, having his dreams, and his family, his brothers being so jealous of him, and those dreams came to fruition where he dreamed about the piles of the grain, and that how his brothers were going to be bowing down to him, and it actually happened. He was one of the high priests, at Pharaoh, right? After he interpreted Pharaoh's dream, and he became those things, that he dreamed about, right? So does this thing about dreams come into life, still exist? Or, some people may not even believe, dreams. And we have all of this stuff out there about interpretations of dreams and stuff, right? So, as part of the health segment of season and beyond, that's what I'm gonna say. This is a health segment because sometimes when people start talking about dreams, start talking about deja vu, sometimes family members or people think that something is really wrong, with them, right? So I just want to talk about it and get some information about it so it can ease some people's mind, that have dreams and then afraid now to even talk about their dreams because of what has transpired, when you talked about them before, right? Now, as for me, now when I have a dream, I pick up the phone and I call my sister in a minute, or I call a great friend of mine. I call her my sister, Pastor Lies, right? I'll call her, and start telling her, about a dream or either about somebody else's dream, and we'll interpret it together, try to figure out, is this dream going to come truth? Is it going to come to fruition, or is this something that you just dream, right? Just like the other day, I dreamed about, from what I talked about last week about the famous group, and then I went in concert with. Then I dreamed about something with my grandmother that has been dead for since 2007, and then my son's grandmother that has been dead for a while also, and then my mother, and then a friend of ours. Um, at the friend of mine's at his church, right? And the only reason I knew that he was in the church is because for some reason the dream had an invisible wall, and I was able to see inside the church, right? Then I messed around and had another dream about snakes. I mean, like, what in the world? I dreamed about snakes, but and it scared me so bad I just jumped up and I couldn't go back to sleep. But the thing about this dream is that the snakes didn't do anything. It was like they were sleeping, right? And I was able to walk through them to the other side, and somebody was with me. I cannot remember who that person was, right? But before I walked to the other side, it was a big old boa constrictor wrapped around a car, right? But I walked through those snakes and went right on the other side. And the craziest thing about it is that I jumped up and I wanted to get in and see what the dictionary of dream interpretation said. And when I just typed in dreams, and the thing, and the dream about snakes just popped up. And that thing scared me. So I didn't look up anymore. I just called my sister and I said, we're gonna have to walk through this thing. So I don't know exactly, if there's meaning. I don't know. I really don't know. But what's your opinion of dreams? I just want to know your opinion of dreams and deja vu. And I have a deep feeling that there is something to it. I just feel deep inside that there's something to it, right? And with deja vu, right? I think about how the Ecclesiastes 1 and 4 says that history merely repeats itself. It has all been done before. Nothing under the sun is truly new. Sometimes people say, here is something new, but actually it is old. Nothing is ever truly new. We don't remember what happened in the past, and in figures and in future generations. I'm sorry, let me read that again. We don't remember what happened in the past, and in future generations no one will remember what we are doing now, right? So when I think about that, and I think about deja vu, I was having a conversation with one of my coworkers about this, and I think about deja vu, right? And I think about death, and I think about just people in general, right? And how some people act, right? Like children. And this people always say this, like, this child has been here before, right? And so I always think about like deja vu is that, God, maybe I've been here before and I did this, right? And I'm not crazy, y'all. I'm very, but you could be very intelligent to go and say. But I'm just saying, sometimes I think that, and when I read that scripture, it makes me think about that. Since nothing is new under the sun, and what has been is now, and that we don't remember the past, and even the future generation is not even going to remember what's going on now. God, so deja vu, is it that we've already experienced this before, and and now it's happening again, and it just came back to our mind because it was getting ready to happen again. I looked at that movie Deja Vu with Denzel Washington, and that made me start thinking too. God, this thing is something to this thing, and things. So I don't really know, and I'm not going to say that I know everything because I don't, but it just make you start thinking about a lot of things. About, oh God, have I been here before? Is it really this thing of, when you die, you go back to dust, and but what comes after that, from my understanding, is that the soul goes somewhere else, right? Goes to heaven. And so what really happens to the soul? Does it repeat itself again, like Ecclesiastics say? I don't really know, but sometimes I'm just thinking that, like I said, especially when it comes down to deja vu, right? So last week um I had two comments that really, like, that caught my attention, right? And I started doing. That's why I was able to get a little bit more of the dream with the snakes, right? Because I just, like, tried to get myself together and, like stay in this thing. How, I don't really know. Conscious, because you're not conscious when you really dreaming, or are you? I don't even know. And I'm going to say that about deja vu also, because they said deja vu, you conscious, right? But are you really conscious? And they say deja vu like a sense of, like, daydreaming, right? When you daydreaming, are you really, conscious? Because you think about when you in that space, right? That sometimes somebody have to say, boom, tap your, call your name more than one time and say, are you all right? Is everything all right with you? But then, because you've been caught in the moment, right, of what you were dreaming or what you were thinking about, right? So somebody have to grab you. So are you really, conscious during that time of when you having that vision of this deja vu that's getting ready to happen, or the daydreaming part? And is daydreaming and deja vu the same thing? I just don't know. I really don't know. But I'm going to start paying more attention to it because of these dreams that I've been having. I just want to pay more attention and see exactly, what's going on with this, right? So one of the comments was, next time you dream, which is every time we are drifting off to sleep, say, I'm dreaming, and that's when you will wake up within the dream, and then you are conscious while dreaming. That's when you can do anything in the dream you desire, right? Now, I like that part, but then I don't want to disturb the dream. Like, if I'm going to have this dream, I want to be able to go through it, and I really would like to remember what the dream is about, right? But sometimes it happens. Sometimes it don't. Sometimes you remember a little bit of it. Sometimes you remember all of it. Because I know one of my friends, they had a dream, and they told me a whole, like, story, right? That they just remembered the whole thing, right? But all I remember was bits and pieces, of the dreams that I had, right? Then the other comment was, when we're dreaming, we're believing it's real, right? But then we wake up and say, oh, I was just dreaming, right? But when we realize we are dreaming, while we're in the dream, you can make the dream whatever you want it to be. That's basically the same thing that was said before. Try it, you will be amazed, right? So I don't really know truly about that, but I do know that we do dream. And when we dream, we're in that realm space, right? That deep sleep. That's what they call the deep sleep that we're in. And I know when I was, like, when my kids were young and I would go to sleep, and I'm telling you guys, when I sleep, I am sleep. It's hard for me to get up. So maybe when I go to sleep, I hit RAM like that, right? It ain't no it's like, I think they say it's like 4 stages of sleep. Like, it says the lightest stage of sleep, is like the transition from wakefulness to sleep, right? It lasts 1 to 7 minutes, right? Then it says step two, like, it's real sleep. And it say gradually decrease in heart rate, respiration, body temperature, and muscle tension. Like you getting in the relaxed mode, right? In stage two, right? And then it says stage three is a transition stage, 30 to 45 minutes after drifting off to sleep, right? And then it says it decreasing heart rates again, respiration, temperature, and muscles. It's difficult to be from which to be awakened, right? Then you go into stage four, and that's the stage like it's hard for you to get unless you're a light sleeper. Sometimes we have a lot of light sleepers. I am not that. I am like when I sleep, I am deep in that thing, and it is really hard to wake me up. And when you do wake me up, I'm like in a frantic. I'm like scared, right? I'm like, boom, like what's going on? What's happening? Like I'm in that shock stage, or either like when you want to hide or something like that, and somebody and you realize you in it, and then somebody say something or do something, then you like bam, you like surprised and all over the place, and your heart rate just bam, bam, bam. That's how I am. When you wake me up out of my deep sleep, it scares me because I think something happened or something's going on. And especially if you standing over me. I just tell my kids, don't stand over me, stand over on the side. If you trying to wake me up, just stand on the side. But they always like, they be hovering over you like, mom, mama, and I'm like, oh my God. It was really frightening, right? But when I'm in and I'm around, I am there. So and that's the stage where you actually start dreaming when you're in that deep sleep, right? And I don't know. Again, I don't know why some people can remember those dreams and some people just can't. They can't. Sometimes they don't remember anything, or they remember a little bit of it, or they remember the whole thing. So deja vu, right, is the human mind. The human mind has been an intriguing thing, right? That mind is like, I don't think as much science and studies as they have done, on the human mind. I still don't even think that they have really and truly hit the surface of it, right? Because our mind can do some crazy stuff, right? And when I say crazy stuff, I mean some amazing things, right? And I think that there's going to be studies, even before I was born until I die, and further on, about the human mind because it is really intriguing. Intriguing. Did I say that right? It is truly amazing. I'm going to stop trying to say that word. I'm going to say it's truly amazing again, right? And we don't really know about that thing about what the dream and where your mind, why do your mind go in these areas and things, right? We really don't know. I don't know. I think people can say, this is why you do this and this is why you do that, right? But I don't think we really know. It's just a puzzle, to us, right? So this deja vu, right? It's a they say it's a French word, right? I'm getting this from online. This is not mine. It's a French word for already seen, right? That you've already seen this. Like, this thing has already happened. Hey Dana, how are you? That this thing has already happened, right? And it's the English equivalent of deja vu is already happened, right? It is a phenomena of the human brain where a person feels that they have already experienced the events planning out around them, right? And I have had that happen so many times, right? And what it does to me, it just make me like I'm like in a standstill, right? Because I want to see exactly what's going to happen if it's really going to go the way that I dreamed. Well, that I was, they say I was conscious. I don't know that I thought this thing, right? Or either I remembered this thing, right? And it always happened the way I remember it. If anybody, believe that, just let me know because it does happen. And I would always say deja vu. But what I'm gonna start saying is that I have been here before. I have been in this situation, before, right? Because that is what it feel like to me, is that I have been here and that I'm just reliving this thing again. But the thing about it though is that when this phenomena happens, I can't say nothing. I can't say and I said earlier, I don't say anything is because I can't say anything because I am just like, I am like, is this really happening? Is this is this event really gonna take place? Are they gonna say this? Are they gonna actually do this? And in my mind, when it happens, in my mind, I'm replaying it. I'm as it's happening, as this event is happening, I'm replaying it in my mind again, like what's gonna happen next, and it just everything that I thought or was there, during that time, boom, the exact same thing, will happen again. And it is crazy. But they say that when you think about these things, that you're conscious, right? And I don't know, again, because like I said about daydreaming and deja vu, and I don't and I'm trying to distinguish the difference between deja vu and daydreaming, right? Sometimes I think that they're in there together somewhere, and then maybe not, but I think they're like somewhere in there together, and maybe they're not, but I just feel that they have some kind of commonness with each other, right? But when you they say when you do have this deja vu, right? Is that when you do you're conscious, you're conscious of having it, right? And I guess I am when it actually happens, right? But when you have thought about it before, or have you really thought about, what, guys, I am really confused now. Because the more I talk about this thing, the more I feel like with Ecclesiastes, right? Is that we've been here before. And it's not that we really thought about it, it's that we actually experienced that event, right? Before. And now you're experiencing it again. Hey, David, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, and you're actually just experiencing it again. Like Ecclesiastes said, nothing changes under the sun. And then that last part, it says in 11, it says we don't we don't remember what happened in the past, and in future generations no one will remember what we are doing now, right? And when I think about that thing, is that there's nothing has changed under the sun, right? I'm gonna go back on that, because I think about I'm missing you. Because I think about, like, even like clothes. I was raised up in the 70s and the 80s. I'm 59, and I was raised in the 70s and the 80s. And some of the things that my kids are wearing and and making real big, right? We did it then. We was doing stuff like that. I often think about the crocheted a vest, that they're wearing now, and like the pocketbooks and the bands. I was in Targets the other day, and I saw crocheted the hats and the headbands and a pocketbook, right? And I'm thinking, oh my God, I had this. I should have held on to those things. You didn't think about those things, and you thought they were old, and that nobody was gonna ever wear these things or use these things again, right? And so you got rid of them. But now I wish I would have kept all of those things, like the bell bottoms. I had bell bottoms. The bell bottoms are back now, and the pants that you wear. I guess they call hip huggers, right? We call them hip huggers. I don't. I think they call them low riders or something like that. Now I don't really know what they call, but we wore those, right? And then the pants that have the pocket like things on the sides, where I say you can put a hammer in there. We wore those, right? We called those. I cannot remember what we called those pants, but we wore those to hello. Just getting it. What scripture I read? Oh, I read. Hey, how you doing? I read Ecclesiastes 1, 9, and 11, and I'm bringing those in cargo pants. Yeah, and so yeah, we wore those then, and we, but now they're, all of those things are coming, back again. Then I think about hairstyles and all of those things, and different glasses, right? Some glasses, though, I think they like that we used to call them like cat eye glasses, right? And we did not like those glasses. I didn't wear glasses then, though. We did not like those glasses, but now it's a fashion statement. Everybody want to wear those cat eye, glasses and stuff. So nothing really changes, you know, under the sun, everything that I wore when I was young is coming back, and those Bermuda shorts and all of those things are just, you know, they are still here, right? So when I think about deja vu, and when I think about dreams and, you know, things like that, you know, especially deja vu, right? Is, you know, maybe Ecclesiastes have something, you know, it's some, I know it's some significance with it, right? But more digging in to say, you know, okay, well, you know, God, what are you really trying to what are you really trying to tell us? You know, our dreams are is deja vu, you know, something that you're telling us that that you're planning a future something for us, or you know what? I don't really know. Sometimes I believe it, and sometimes it's a little bit like prophecy, right? It's a little bit like prophecy. When somebody come and prophesies to you, right? It's just a confirmation of what you already know, right? So it's not like somebody says something to you that you haven't heard it before, right? It's just something to say that, okay, um, God says, I'm sending somebody who says you don't believe me. You're Gideon. You have a Gideon experience. You have a Gideon syndrome or something, right? And you just don't believe it. So I got to send somebody to you. So they can verify that this is what I'm trying to tell you to do to move forward in this, right? I like to think my mind is moving too fast. Yeah. And then some, and that's true, David. Sometimes it is, you know, it happens, you know, and and that's something also, yeah, that you can bring in with that deja vu or with the dreams and stuff. You know, is that how fast our mind is going and what God is trying to tell us within that motion, right? So, so yeah, so and so within dreams, so is God trying to tell us something? You know, are the interpretations, you know, that are placed out there for us, are they really significant for uh, what we dream about? And I'm going to tell you though, some sometimes now I'm gonna tell y'all now, some dreams now that some of my friends have told me, and I just sent it to somebody else because I don't know how to interpret them. I just say what I this is just my opinion, right? And they have really came, you know, they have really came true for that individual. And I think that they do because once they put that dream out into the atmosphere, right? And then this individual, and I would never send that I didn't have respect. They were true at who they are, right? I guess I say it that way. And when they interpret it, and when I send it to them, I don't never tell them who the person is, right? I don't want them to like have a if they know who they are, then they start asking, you know, other questions, and then you get too much information, and then you'll begin to go by the information that I gave you. If you understand what I'm saying. And so if I just give you the dream, and I'm just going to tell you to ask you to interpret the dream, and you come back with something that coincide with this person, then you know I'm tending to believe that that dream is true because neither one of you know each other. You don't know each other, right? So you would know this about this individual. And to the person that I sent one of the dreams to, she didn't know her, but I'm telling you, she interpreted that dream to the core of what this individual was going through, and gave her, you know, some advice through the symbols, because in the Bible that's what they talk about with dreams, is that there were symbols, you know, in the dream, like with Joseph, right? Like with Joseph, with his dreams there were symbols in there, like again, like the stack of wheat, and the bowing down, you know, of the people and stuff. There was symbols in there that guide him through what those dreams, were about, and then would let us know what they're about. So, when there's symbols in those dreams, you could be able to bring them down. And within this person's dream, she had a lot of symbols in there. And this person was able to interpret, what those symbols meant. That, again, what she was going through. And I thought that that was just amazing. And guys, I thought it was truly amazing. I know that somebody out there know, probably about dreams that have been interpreted and they have really come to truth of what the dream was about for that individual, right? So deja vu always occurs, it says, when a person is in a conscious state of mind, right? Which is why they are actually able to mindfully experience it and even recount it to his friends and relatives, right? So, so again, I'm thinking about. I have a lot to say about this deja vu. Is that really? I always think, did I really think about this deja vu? Did I really think about it again? I'm just gonna say that again. Did I really think about it? Did it just happen? I don't even remember when I thought about it, right? Don't even remember that part. All I know is that it actually happened again. So that's what made me think that, okay, I've done this before and another time. What? And then here it is happening again. I don't know. Okay, so on the other hand, dreams are a series of images, like I said before, ideas, sensations, and emotions playing out consecutively, right? In the mind of a person while they're sleeping, right? Now, I do know for a fact that when you dreaming, is that you are unconscious, because I know for a fact that when I get into a deep sleep, I am unconscious. I am most definitely unconscious, right? And it says dreams always take place when a person is in an unconscious state of mind. Okay, this fact makes for a very important point of difference between dreams and deja vu. Okay, though some would argue that there exists a phenomenon where a person can dream during the day, even while they're not sleeping. Okay, now that's where I have a problem with that too, because I think about, okay, if you dreaming during the day while you're not sleeping, are you really unconscious or are you conscious while you daydream? Are you conscious when you daydream? Right? I don't know. I don't know. I am not a scientist of the brain. I don't know, of the mind. Okay, daydreaming is another one. That's this here. Daydreaming is another interesting phenomena of the brain in which the person unknowingly starts to dream about something. And we often do that all the time. We do that all the time. But in my unconscious, I'm just thinking. I'm just really just thinking about something. And I'm in a I'm just thinking about something. Like right now, I'm thinking about something. I'm just kidding. And so, are you really, are you conscious? It say daydreams, though occurring in a conscious mind, can be said to be an unconscious phenomenon, right? So you can be conscious daydreaming, or you can be unconscious daydreaming. And I guess that's the part where I was talking about earlier about when you're so deep in it, somebody had to tap you on your shoulder, boom, and bring you back, to where you were. And then sometimes you just get, I know I told somebody this, sometimes you just get caught up in, like if somebody's talking to you and you get caught up into a word that they've said, right? And you just stuck on that word, right? Being an introvert, that can happen, right? You can just they can say something that's familiar to you and you get stuck on that word. And so what you're doing, you have that word in your mind, it's just going in your mind, and you're trying to figure stuff out with it, um or you just then went into another area, and that conversation that you had is just, you're not even in that conversation anymore. You just in your mind, right? You just in your mind. So that can happen. This makes them unconscious. Okay, it says, oh, when is daydreaming? They are in a state of being completely occupied by his own thoughts, right? And that's like what I just said. This makes them unconscious of everything around them, and their focus lies only on dreaming. And we do that a lot. A lot of people, I think that introverts do it a whole lot, right? That we're focused when we're focused on something, we are just so in tune with it that we just go into a state of maybe unconsciousness because we're so deeply, into it that nothing, we don't see or hear nothing around us. We're just totally, in our thoughts, in our mind, right? And you could just float away in your mind. Now, extrovert is a little different now. They don't too much do that. They're always outward with theirs, right? Where an introvert is say introvert, inward, extrovert, outward with their stuff, right? So that can be possible with that, right? So, okay. So, meanings with deja vu and dreams. Like I said earlier, deja vu is experiencing something that has already happened. Dreaming is a series of images and ideas and sensations and emotions playing out, in your mind as you are in a deep sleep. You are in that RAM sleep. You are in that RAM sleep, which RAM rapid eye movement, and eyes move rapidly back and forth behind closed, right? Like sometimes when somebody opened your eyes and your eyes went up, that's what that means because you're in a deep state, of sleeping, right? And deja vu is like as they say, you conscious when you thinking about something that's happened. Maybe I'm saying this wrong. Deja vu when you see something that has occurred before, right? So you conscious when you're seeing this thing actually happen, right? When you experienced it before, I don't know. We don't know. I don't know. Because I'm thinking again, like I said with Ecclesiastes, I'm thinking that nothing changes under the sun and it has happened before and that you're living this thing over again, right? Okay, times of occurrence of deja vu has no time occurrence. It can occur anytime. You can't pinpoint when this deja vu thing, is gonna happen. It just happens, right? And with dreams, again, it's like when you sleeping, when you're in that deep frame, of sleeping, your deep sleep, and that you're unconscious. And without even know having the medication, you just unconscious in your sleep, right? And it says that the duration of these things, deja vu usually only lasts for a few seconds, right? And that is true. It's just like a little snippet of something, right? That has happened, before. And you just sit and you just look at it and you just think this has happened, before. A dream can last 20 minutes, it can last for a good long time, right? But the thing about with dreams is that you may not even remember the dream at all, right? Or you may just remember a little bit of it. Or you can remember the whole thing and verbatimly repeat that dream again that next morning, right? And that's what that is about the recounts of it, recountability, is that you may not be able to and you may. But deja vu can be recalled well and can be narrated when it's actually happened. But I don't know. When again, like when I'm in that thing of that deja vu, right? I don't. I'm in such a shock that I don't repeat nothing. I just watch and see. Is this thing going to transpire the way that I thought, before? That it's going to do. Now, if anybody out there have narrated and say, y'all, I've been in this situation before, and this is what's going to happen. You're going to knock that bottle of water over, and then somebody going to run and get some uh, Kleenex or paper towels and try to clean that stuff up. And then the baby just going to start crying because the baby felt like that, it was their fault. And, they just narrated, just say, this is what's happening. I've never done that before because I've been in such a shock when it happened. I'm like, God, this has happened before, right? And then it says timeline of occurrence. A person can recall the beginning, middle, and the end again of deja vu. And it says with dreams, it's fascinating and bewildering how one simply can't tell the beginning of his dreams, as he always as always in the middle of a dream, right? So, sometimes I be thinking, so when I had those dreams, since I could only remember a little bit of it, it was a whole beginning, of the dream, and here I am just in the middle. And then it's a whole ending of the dream, but I don't remember what the end results was or what the beginning of the dream was, but I do remember the middle of the dream. And then, like I say, with the one I dreamed about with my mother and my grandmother and stuff, all I remember is the middle. I don't remember how we got there. I don't remember if we actually went inside the church. And then the last one, all I remember is just standing in front, of all of these snakes, of all things, snakes, and they just be there like they were sleeping. I don't know what they were doing. I'm just glad they didn't move, but I just remember that part. I don't remember the person, what I was doing before we got there, but it was somebody with me. I don't even remember what happened after, if I even got to where I needed to go after passing through, right? So those are the things with the dreams. But my main thing is, are they really significant, in your life, right? Do they play a role in something that's going to happen in your life or something that has happened? And then this is the next part of what has already happened, in your life. Yes or no? Should we take dreams serious, right? Should we really take dreams serious and really try to find out, what that dream meant for my life or what the dream meant for somebody else's life, you know? And when we do find out, or when we do come to grips with what that dream was about, do we move forward in, what the dream, was, for our life? How do we manage those things with the dreams? Do you actually believe it? Do you actually believe that what Ecclesiastes say? That, nothing changes under the sun. What was then is now. It's just a mere, you just merely repeating, life over again. Is it true? It says history merely repeats itself. History repeats itself. It has all been done before. Have this deja vu been done before? And that's why we're seeing it again. Do we really know? I don't know. And then the closing things come back again. So if I have deja vu that I have wore these clothes before and where I wore these clothes, yes, that means that it's repeating all over again, that I had these clothes on, right? Nothing under the sun is truly new. Sometimes people say, here is something new. And I am a true believer of that, because I was thinking about, even with like the CDs, right? When they came out, I thought it was something new, right? I said, God, that is really new. Where they can make this thin piece of plastic, I guess, round piece of plastic, and all of this music is on it, right? Or a whole movie, is on this CD, right? But I learned that CDs has already, they were here before, you know, did not know that. So it was here before, and now they're here again. And I think that was in the 70s, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody can look it up and see. But CDs have been here before, okay? So, we got to think about those things, that, if that's been here before, and if other things been here before, or if you see somebody, right, and you think, God, I remember the person, I remember these things being said for somebody else, right? A person has come into the life, and they're doing the same, have the same demeanor, have the same, looks, or maybe the same actions and everything, about somebody that you've known before, but that's dead and gone now. But now have this other person coming that have the same thing. Or again, like I said earlier, when we look at our children and they do these things, and you think, you so old, right? This is something that was we did when we were like, boom. And now, okay, it's reincarnated from somebody else or something, right? Is that what Ecclesiastes is saying, right? Is that something to do with deja vu? That has something to do with dreams, right? That nothing changes under the sun, that what was then is now. And even what's going to be now is going to be again. Are those things, are those the things that we're seeing repeated again, even like in dreams? If dreams were back then, 2,000 years ago, now dreams here, right? And do they have a meaning to them? Are we going to be serious? Are we going to be understanding of these dreams? And are we going to let them guide our life, right? Are we going to let the dreams guide our life? Or are we just going to let it pass on? And we get to heaven, and when we get where we're gonna go, we open the door. God said, "Go over there and open this door," and we open that door, and all of these blessings is behind this door. And God said, "That dream I sent you, is in there also." We got to think about all of those things and have a different view about dreams, and don't think that everything is witchcraft. A lot of times people think, you have dreams like this, and that's not of God. But then dreams are all through the Bible. And when people start interpreting them and saying this is what's going to happen and that's going to happen, you say, "Oh no, that's witchcraft." No, it's not witchcraft. It's something that God has innated in us and has blessed us with. I truly believe that, to begin to help us to begin to help us to go forward in our future, right? We got to believe it, and we got to start investigating in it. Invest in it. Invest in the dreams that we have, and start getting people to help us to interpret it. Or again, like I did, get somebody that don't even know you, and can you interpret this dream for me? Okay, guys, thank you so very much for coming out and being with me on Season and Beyond, enjoying life to the brim. And again, we talked about deja vu versus dreams, and brought the scripture in with it, Ecclesiastes 1 9 through 11, to talk about nothing is different in this life that we live in. It is just a repeat of something that has already happened. And again, if you don't believe it, go into your department store. People that was born, that was brought up in the 60s and 70s and the 80s, go into the department stores now and look at all of the clothes that we wore back then. They're in the department store right now. And go and invest in, go back and look through the history and see about those CDs that was here. And again, I think it was the 70s, it might be in the 80s. I can't remember exactly. I think it was in the 70s, if I'm not mistaken, that they've been here before. Okay? All righty, guys. Thank you so very much. Oh, I'm sorry. And again, this is the health segment. So this is to help somebody also, to let you know that you're not crazy, and you're not going out of your mind, that deja vu is real, and that some of your dreams could be real also. Or it could be something that you ate that just didn't agree with you, and you just had a crazy, horrible dream. Okay? Or you had a traumatic event and you dreamed about that event. It could be that. But I think again that we just need to investigate on our dreams, and see where they take you in life. Okay, see where it's gonna take your future. All right. So again, thank you so very much for coming out to Season and Beyond, and enjoying life to the brim. Just gonna announce that Thursday we're gonna do our scripture interpretation on Thursday at 7:30. This is not the scripture interpretation today. This is Season and Beyond, where I just talk about just about any and everything. But on Thursdays we do our scripture interpretation. So if you don't have anything to do, come out Thursday at 7 o'clock, same bat channel, same bat time, and be with us on Flow, fulfilling life on wisdom. Okay. All right. Thank you so very much. And I love you guys. And there's nothing that you can do about it but love me back. Love you, love you, love you, love you.